Hello, 602 people. I thought we might have a fireside chat about the importance of hybrid course design. Um, I'm not wearing pants right now, but I don't think you can see that. Well, let me proceed. No, really. I was thinking, to try this to see if it works, to see if maybe I could use myself in a podcast to present course lessons or, just talk to the students. It feels like, given that we have maybe to teach 4 classes in residence a semester now, that it might be a good idea to see if we could maybe simulate ourselves in some way. And it might not be a bad thing if you only meet in a Tuesday, Thursday class once a week, you can get 4 classes in, let's say 9:45 to 12:30, in the same time that you could get 2 classes in. And I've been finding lately that students don't really seem to care about what's happening in class. That can be my fault because I'm not making the stakes high enough for a course that meets for 75 minutes of class. I'm not planning it out. But on the other hand, I feel like they don't really get the same engagement. They're not really engaged with one another. They have so many different ways to interact that they might feel like, why shouldn't I text during this class? And they seem to like what they see on a screen better than what they see in person and engage better in those scenarios anyways. So maybe we should think about making a podcast and giving instructions for how to do something that they can review again and again and be more engaged with as they do it. So, or pause it, answer that text they were answering it and saying, oh shit, I didn't hear what she said. So let me rewind that and see. I'm having a lot of luck with the blog um, platform and adding assets to it, like videos that they can respond to, and they could respond to this very podcast if I put it up as a blog entry on the blogs of Penn State. So I'm thinking, it might be the route to go. It's something I think I want to advocate. Here, let me fix my hair while I'm doing this. Okay. It might be something I want to advocate to the department as something that's a win-win for everybody. The only thing I worry about is what would it be like for students only to meet me 15 times, let's say, in a Tuesday, Thursday scenario. Would they get the same sense of community, even though I don't really think they're getting it now? Would they get the same sense of me as an instructor? I mean, if my students had to evaluate my class in the SRTEs, let's say on day 15, what would they say on day 15 compared to what they say on day 30, or day 30 versus day 45 on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday format? I'm not sure. And the other thing I'm wondering about is, what would they get to know me? Would I be able to make enough time for them outside of class? And I was thinking that I could, in fact, do so, because if I'm teaching 4 classes from 9:45 to 12:30, I still have all Tuesday and Thursday afternoon to hold office hours. I have a lot of time to meet them outside of class. On Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I could still do conferences and individual meetings. And I'm thinking, if I'm teaching like maybe 4 composition classes or 4 just classes at all, whether 3 or 4 in residence, I'm not seeing how I can do that. So I'm thinking it's actually could make more time for the individual student and would necessarily engage them in the time that they're out of class. Because as of now, I would say I have like 25 students in, most of my classes, as you probably do too. Right now, I noticed on Thursday, I had about 8 kids paying attention, 8 kids there not paying attention, and 8 kids who were absent. And so I'm at a 1/3 engagement rate. If I had those kids blog about something or do some kind of thing that they had to do on Thursday, I mean, they either did it or they didn't. So I would be able to, get more students involved and involved in a more smart way. Now, usually, I think about what I'm teaching and what I'm doing, but at this time of the year, it just seems like, that was my fault that I can't engage students in such a way. I had some students texting, and I was thinking, I really should say, what are you doing texting in my class? And then I thought, well, they know that they're distracted when they're texting. And, they wouldn't be texting if they were doing what I assigned them to do or doing the quiz of the reading they were supposed to do. So I'm totally into this. And I really loved what Shibley presented to us. And I don't know if we could get something going officially for next fall, but I think that I will talk to the department and say this is something we seriously need to consider. There is no reason why we should have this sharp divide between what is residence instruction and what is non-residence instruction or online instruction or continuing ed when they're drawing upon the same technologies and they're obviously available and they're obviously can work in either environment and have been shown to work quite well for people like Ike Shibley who studies these things. So it only makes sense. I want to be in the cool, awesome classroom, and so does one of you guys. Well, why can't we split the time? I mean, it makes a lot of sense to me in terms of our resources and in terms of our pedagogy. And I think if we're teaching a mix of online courses and resident courses, to be sort of in the game, to have all those, your bit that you do on sentence construction or commas, if you podcast it or do something like that, it would apply to both classes. That blog question you might ask, it would apply to both your resident class and your online course. So it would sort of streamline the kinds of work we do. So it makes a lot of sense to me. Well, that was my first ever educational podcast, and I don't know how it went. I'm going to see if this works. All right, bye.